Hi, I'm Sharon from NicaSeeker, a bilingual platform highlighting businesses across Nicaragua. And today I'm here with Nick Perez from Santana Sail. Santana Sail is one of our premium listed businesses on NicaSeeker, and this conversation is part of our ongoing collaboration. So today we're going to talk a little bit about Nick's story, what brought him to Nicaragua, and the work that Nick is doing here. Welcome, Nick. So,
Thank you, Sharon.
hi, lovely to have you here. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, the work that you do, and how Nicaragua fits into your life?
Where do I begin? Well, we started coming to Nicaragua about 12 years ago, my wife and I, and fell in love with it. And we bought, a little property, and always had dreams of spending more time here. But obviously, we both work, and so there's the whole work thing that kind of was getting in the way of living our dream. Fast forward a few years later, and really quick, every time I would come, I would rent a catamaran and I would be on the water. Because for me, I'm very passionate about being on the water. I'm a certified diver. Anytime I can be in the water or on the water, that's where I prefer to be. We would always take a catamaran, and that was a tradition for many, many years. So fast forward, I owned a flower shop in Washington, D.C.
Beautiful.
And I ran it for 30 years successfully. And I was starting to, I think after you've done anything for 30 years, start to get a little tired of it. Still love what I
Understandable.
did. But, I just wanted to chase something else. I didn't know what that was at the time. And one year we're in Nicaragua and I'm on the catamaran. And the captain says, yeah, the boat and the business is for sale. That little light bulb just kind of popped into my
Ah,
head. And I was like, wow, I could see myself doing this. This was, maybe 3, 4 years ago.
uh-huh.
I came back, and at the same time, obviously, I was thinking about, trying to sell my business, move on, and that really kind of accelerated that process. And I started to be more proactive in terms of making that change. I wound up selling the business, and I then tried to start Santana Sail by acquiring an existing catamaran and business here. Unfortunately, that wasn't doable. So I decided I'd buy myself a boat and sail it on over and start from scratch.
Wow.
Yes. And I got to tell you, it's been a very humbling experience. I've learned a lot. I've never owned a boat, and I don't consider myself a sailor. I hope to one day be one. But been a big learning curve, both in terms of the type of business that I now operate, which is Santana Sail,
Mhm.
uh, and obviously doing business in a foreign country.
Beautiful. That's an incredible story to go from running a flower shop or a chain of flower shops to sailing. Obviously serendipitous. It was meant to be.
Yes,
Even though
absolutely.
even though it wasn't easy, but then things that are ultimately successful usually aren't plain sailing, pun intended.
Yes, exactly.
So, what does your time here usually look like? How long are you here for at any one time? And what does your average day or week look like?
Yeah, that's kind of a moving target. It's evolving over time. I'm spending more time here, of course, because of the business and
Uh-huh.
because I want to be here, of course. So, we're here for periods of anywhere from like 3 to 4 months at a time now.
Ah,
But, we'll see how it goes. There'll may be times when we come stay longer or less, but at least we have the liberty of being able to kind of come and go. My wife works remotely, so it makes our life a little bit easier to have that flexibility. So in terms of like my day, I'm still trying to navigate. So Santana Sail, really was established in October of last year. And we really haven't been operational since November. So we've really only been open for, 2 to 3 months.
wow.
Uh, so I'm still kind of learning the ropes, navigating, the corporate structure here in Nicaragua. So I'm spending a lot of my time trying to establish processes, learn about the different accounting methods, what I need to do to make sure that, the business is always in compliance. A lot of it is just personnel management. There's a little bit of a different culture here than there is
Absolutely. Yeah.
in North America. And although, I do speak Spanish, I'm pretty fluent in it. And even though most of my employees throughout my, 30-year tenure as a business owner in Washington, D.C., has been with mostly Latino employees, it's still, believe it or not, just a very striking contrast compared to the US. So navigating that on a daily basis. And I'm also trying to stay involved with some of the order taking. So, trying to establish relationships with certain, hotels, restaurants, business owners to promote business, and then obviously try and work through the process, the workflow of booking it and making sure that seeing it through to completion up to the day of sale.
Right.
So I'm really trying to do a little bit of everything so I understand every facet of the business.
Yeah, smart and necessary for sure. Yeah. And that's something that I think a lot of people experience here, is that you do need to have that hands-on experience, especially at the beginning, because the cultural differences and even the linguistic differences, even if you speak Spanish can vary quite considerably, and obviously culturally there's differences too. So I completely understand those challenges, which I know that you'll navigate with ease.
Well, I don't know about with ease, but I'm navigating it.
You're navigating it.
Pun intended.
I'm loving all the sailing puns.
There's a lot. There's a lot there. We're just getting started here, Sharon.
So, what first brought you to Nicaragua? What put Nicaragua on the map for you originally?
Yeah, I think, but like a lot of people, I think they heard it from somebody else. I'm not a surfer, and I know that's a big reason why a lot of people come here, and fall in love with it. That wasn't the case for me, but we were in Costa Rica, and we met up with some other travelers, and they had just come from Nicaragua, and they said, if you like Costa Rica, you should go to Nicaragua. It's what Costa Rica used to be before, the tourism hit it. So we came the very next year and stayed at Aqua, and we loved it. And literally a few months later, I hopped a plane back here for 24 hours, believe it or not, from the East Coast, just to see a few properties and a few pieces of land, and wound up settling, finding one, and the rest is history.
So how has your relationship with Nicaragua evolved over time, would you say? I know that we've touched on this, but anything that you can add to that question?
Oh, absolutely. It really has changed. I think when people first come here, they fall in love with the beauty, the scenery, the weather, and the lifestyle. But I think that over time, as you get to know the people in Nicaragua, you start to fall in love with them. And that's what really has been very defining for me, because I've really been able to put down roots here and help support, a lot of different causes and a lot of different people. And I feel like, unlike in other Western countries, when you go to the store or when you employ somebody, you don't really feel like you're making a difference in their life. Here in Nicaragua, you do on a daily basis. And it's very rewarding. And it really, I think, gives you a deep, more personal and meaningful connection with the country and its people.
So what causes have you been most drawn to?
So for me personally, Korea is the one cause that, I really support with the wind at my back, should we say. Full-throatedly. Yes, they are a educational nonprofit here helping children in Nicaragua.
That's a great cause and well needed for sure. What made you feel comfortable basing yourself here? Again, we've touched on this, but anything you'd like to add to that question?
I think that as a business owner, we all try and, mitigate risk. And I'll say, I think that people who do decide to start businesses here have a little bit more tolerance for risk than many people. And I think that's why people are drawn to Nicaragua too. It's off the beaten path. It's a road less traveled.
Yeah.
And but the truth of the matter is, if you look around you, there's plenty of businesses who have been here for a very long time and have done well. And I think, if they can do it, anybody can do it, right? And that was my thinking when I first started. There's plenty of businesses that came before me that are still standing and doing great. Regardless of the political climate and stuff like that. Every place, every country has its ups and downs, as you can see, especially right now. But that's not a reason not to, throw your hat in the ring and give it a go.
What role would you say Nicaragua plays for you right now?
I think Nicaragua is just like a second home for me right now.
Love it.
That's the most succinct answer I could give you.
It's a good one, that's for sure. How does life here compare to where you're originally from?
Oh, wow. Night and day, right? Of course, home is home. But I don't think I don't think people have necessarily just one home. And I think I've learned to discover that. I think I call both, home in the United States and here home. They're very different. Here, obviously, one of the main draws for me really is you can kind of source your food, where you want it from. You don't have to go to the grocery store, and buy, what they give you. You can go wherever you want, and get your fruits and vegetables and meats and eggs and from whoever you want. A meaningful difference.
Yeah.
And again, other than that, really the most meaningful thing aside from that is the way that you're able to affect people's lives, affect change just by your mere presence and your economic power here. Every dollar you spend, makes a difference.
So when you're here, what do you miss from back home?
Oh, that's a good question. Obviously I miss my kids. I probably would see them a little bit more if I was there. So that's number one.
Yeah.
Family and friends, that type of
Yeah.
stuff. Do I miss anything else? I probably miss driving fast. You
Ah,
know,
especially
yeah, I
recently.
miss my cars.
Yeah,
Yes.
with the 50-mile-an-hour limit that we have now, that's even
Yes.
more relevant.
Even if you could drive fast, you wouldn't want to here. So I miss that. What else do I miss? Yeah, I miss a good bagel. I miss, certain things like that. But
Yeah.
listen, at the end of the day, whatever it is that I don't have here is made up for with so many other things.
The flip side question, what do you not miss at all?
I don't miss the horns honking and the ambulances and I don't miss the traffic. It's a slower pace here. There's a lot of things I don't miss about home. I would probably just say all the sounds. Here in Nicaragua, you wake up to the sound of the birds. I mean, at least I do here where I am.
Yeah.
Everybody's different. I don't know where people are. Where I am, you hear the birds, and that's what I wake up to in the morning, the
Mhm.
early sunrises, of course, the sunsets. So I think just the sounds, they're much nicer here.
I tend to agree, unless you're living in the heart of San Juan, perhaps, but otherwise, I'm the same.
Yes, exactly.
I love it. Just love the sounds of nature. And we're lucky here. We hear the sea as well at night. It's when it's really
Yes.
still. It's beautiful, very special. What would you say has been the biggest adjustment being in Nicaragua? You touched on a few things, but what's been the biggest?
I mean, I think that both a business and a personal standpoint, for me, the biggest has really just been trying to understand the tax system, owning property here, all the legal things. Some people maybe find it easy to do. I'm not that kind of a person. I rely on an accountant and a lawyer because for me, otherwise my head's just going to explode. Uh, it, you know, and yeah, everything is on paper here. Everything is carbon copies and papers. And, I was at the Alcaldía de Tola, the municipality, and I look behind this woman who is just peeking up over her desk, and I can just, the stacks of paper
Yeah.
just all the way to the ceiling. And I'm thinking to myself, how in God's name do they know what any of that is? There's no rhyme or reason to it. The desk is like piled high and she's looking in between these stacks of paper. That's the type of thing that
Yeah.
is harder to kind of work through.
Yeah, I completely understand that. It's almost like going back in time, hey?
Yes.
Time warp. What has been easier than you expected here?
In general, things tend to be easier here, I feel like. when you want to go somewhere, there's no traffic, there's no, line to get in somewhere, wait behind, anybody at a long line somewhere. So just in general, life seems a little bit easier.
What has Nicaragua taught you so far?
That you can put roots down somewhere else, call it home. That home isn't just necessarily one place. And I think a lot of people fall into that, they've got home and they just consider that their nucleus and it is, and it can be, but it doesn't have to just be that one place. So for me, moving here, spending more time here, I get kind of sad when I have to leave because I do now consider this my home and I realize now that I can, have two homes and it's better than one.
Just moving on to Santana Sail, how would you describe what you offer and who it's for?
So there's only a few other catamarans and boats in the area. I come from a kind of a luxury background in my business. So for me, one of the things that I saw a need for was a boat and service that positions itself in more of kind of an upscale luxury market that Nicaragua has been and it continues to attract in larger quantities. We are part of the Rancho Santana community.
Right.
And in having talked to them previous to this, I knew that there was a need from them, and I figured that would extend to other hotels, other businesses, other people in the area. So what we do is we offer half day and full day sailing packages that are basically all inclusive. So it includes food and beverages, and we do morning tours and afternoon tours, so around 4 to 5 hours each. We offer pickup locations from various areas, Guacalito, Gigante, San Juan del Sur. So come pick you up at the beach, head out for sailing, stop somewhere, eat, swim, have fun, and sail back. So we do that. We're starting to get a lot of requests for overnight stays as well, which we absolutely do. That would involve either, staying locally in Nicaragua for a night or 2 or 3 nights, or we can go to Costa Rica and do something there and do, 5 nights, 7 nights. So we offer custom packages. For that, we offer custom packages as well for people who want to host, events, whether it's like a bachelorette party, a corporate outing, birthday celebration, something like that. So, we offer that as well. And then we offer from those base packages, amenities on the boat. So we can bring on a sushi chef to make some rolls, for guests. We can get a bartender, if they want some more specialized cocktails. We offer massages on board, nannies. So we do
Wow.
upgraded food packages and upgraded beverage packages. So you can also customize it, but even the base package really is all you need.
Sounds like an incredible experience, that is for
It
sure.
is. And, going back to where we position ourselves in terms of being a more luxury segment, we bought a very relatively new boat. And so it's the newest one in Nicaragua and the largest one in Nicaragua. It's a 45-foot Leopard catamaran. So it's very spacious and it fits up to about 30 people comfortably. 4 bedrooms with air conditioning, has an onboard water maker, generator. So it's really self-sustaining and it's like kind of like a floating condo. It's nice.
Beautiful. Final main question. What advice would you give someone considering Nicaragua as part of their life or work in some way?
Wholeheartedly endorse it. A side of me wants to be like, no, don't come here. It's terrible. That wouldn't be true. But this place is just it's so unspoiled, untouched. A side of me wants to keep it that way, but a side of me also wants to be able to share it with people and
Yeah.
have them see and experience, what we do on a daily basis. It really is a special place. Not only, from a nature standpoint, the water's beautiful, the weather's great, but just from a cultural standpoint, the people are absolutely amazing. They're kind, they'll give you the shirt off their back. And, being so close, having such great proximity to both of those things makes it really an ideal place.
I couldn't agree more. Nick, thank you so much for sharing your story. This was Nick Perez from Santana Sail, and you can find more local businesses and stories like this on NicaSeeker. Thank you for tuning in.